It's night time in Oxford, so there's nobody about. This is the covered market, which would be closed this time anyway. But it's a bit of a ghost town around here, inside and out. It's a bit windy out there, so I'm inside for a bit. Somebody's hatch where they're going to sleep the night. Boris Johnson's made a speech today about how we're going to emerge from lockdown, or not, by the sounds of it. I mean, he says you've got to go to work if you can go to work, and stay at home if you can stay at home. And he says you've got to drive a car if you can drive a car, but better still, walk or use a bicycle. And it kind of reminds me of what's been going on in America. So in America, they're saying in lots of states you get fined if you break social distancing laws. So if you don't wear a mask, you get fined in America. But then Dr. Fauci's come out and said you don't need to wear a mask. And in this country, they've said you get fined if you break social distancing laws. But the day before, a government advisor came out and said, oh yeah, it was just a figure plucked out of the air, it wasn't really necessary, 2 meters. But now they're telling you. So you're getting these mixed messages. It's basically my point there. You're getting mixed messages which screw with your head because you don't know which way it's up and you don't know what's going on. And then you think, it just creates this sort of agitation. There's a phrase for it. I can't really call it to mind right now. But where you're getting two different ideas. I suppose it's a cognitive dissonance, isn't it? Whereby you're not really sure what's going on. You don't know what to believe. You don't know what's right and what's wrong. You don't know whether you should be out or in. You don't know if you should be in the car or on a bike. You don't know if you should have a mask on or not. Nobody knows. Everyone's arguing amongst themselves. It creates a conflict amongst people. Look at this place. There's nobody here. Like, this is the middle of town. I don't even know what night it is. I think it's Sunday night, so I suppose it would be a little bit quiet. But the other thing that's crazy is that another thing that doesn't make sense. He says Boris Johnson's just said don't use public transport. I've just stood here and the only thing that's gone past really is public transport. So they're running a public transport system and telling you not to use it. It's like there's a constant play on your logic, your emotions, your fears. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. I don't buy it for a second. Look, I'm the only person out here. Everyone else probably smart and gone to bed early, to be honest. But look at the state of this place. I can stand in the middle of the road. You know? Ghost town. That's the wind. You might not hear my voice now. I'll go down an alleyway. I'll find a nice alleyway where we can go for a second. But a very strange sort of period of time here. I've had a few people text in and messaging me and saying, wondering what I don't even listen to what the Prime Minister says. I mean, why would I? Nobody else does it most of the time because they don't trust him, because they think he's a liar. Before this all happened, they all thought he's a liar, but now he's above question now that he said he's been ill. Suddenly you've got to believe that because that's sort of what we might call it. It's almost sacrilege to suggest that he might not have been ill. I mean, I'm not going to push that point because I don't know either way, but I don't believe liars. So if liars tell me they're ill, I'll be like, if it was your mate at work, you'd be thinking, he's always a lying, that guy at work. Do you think he's just skiving? Do you think he's just having a day off for fun? Or do you think he's not really ill? If he was off for a long time, you'd ask the question of a liar. But apparently you're not allowed to do it if they in the office of Prime Minister. You're not allowed to question people who are known liars. You're not allowed to question known people who. It really bothers me, this thing that these guys can they can bomb foreign countries, they can murder innocent people, they can lie and screw financially, anything they want to do. They had in this country, they were getting rid of old people, they dismantled the NHS, and the next thing we think they care about old people in the NHS. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. People's logic has gone out the window. People are off the charts, man. There's a lady came in the other day and she said, I hope I'm 2 meters away from you. And I said, I'm sure it doesn't matter anyway. The government advisor said, it's a made-up arbitrary figure that they plucked out of the air. And she said, well, you've got to give people some kind of instruction, some kind of regulation. I said, no, you don't. We're all sovereign beings. We can all decide for ourselves what we're going to do. Every flu season, there's a potential risk, for if you're vulnerable. But, oh man. But that's the way people think. They think they need to be told by liars and murderers what to do with themselves. They think they need their instruction, whether they can go and hug their daughters or their grandchildren and things like that. It makes no sense to me. These people, If you had a daughter and they were smacked about by the guy, would you trust that guy again? If you had a guy living on your street who told you lies so that he could kill someone on the next street, and they called it Iraq Avenue, and they killed a family on that street, you probably wouldn't have him around to dinner for. But again, you would never have him around for dinner again if you knew they killed a neighbouring family. But they just invite them in through the television or the radio or the internet and listen to everything they say like it's important. It doesn't matter a damn. At some point we're going to have to wake up, and it's just got to start soon, because this stuff is getting to people. You can see it's stressing them out. I mean, maybe even me. I'm not normally this aggressive, but like, whew, this is bananas, man. I mean, the bananas are going on up here. Like, people's brains are gone. They're fried. They're upside down. Look at this empty public transport. How does that make sense in the middle of the night? There's nobody around. These guys are bus drivers wearing masks all day, driving empty buses. Nah, man, you've got to laugh. It's crazy. It's the crazy world. But here we are, nighttime in Oxford. Me and the buses. There they go. Whew. Take care, everyone. Wake people up if you can. Be gentle, but do it. I've been dropping seeds left, right, and centre. Everybody's getting them. Everybody I meet, policemen, policewomen, people I know. I've emailed everybody who used to work for. I came to my classes. All my clients, I've emailed them all, told them what's going on. They all probably think I'm mental, but they've heard it. They have heard it, and the seed has gone in. Whether it germinates or not is a different story. I'm aware that it's windy, and sometimes it cuts out totally. I'm going to stand in the town hall here. Here we go, in the town hall. So, good evening, good night from Oxford Town Hall. I'll do some proper videos tomorrow. This is a bit of a chat here, and another bus driver driving an empty bus. Oh, there's people now. Here we go. That's a homeless lady over there with a dog. Anyway, take care. Good night.